Well, folks, welcome back to Major Diesel. It's been a little while. I don't think I've posted a full video for over a year, but I took a lot of videos this last year in 2025. So starting now with 2026, I'm going to be editing a whole bunch of footage for a whole bunch of things. A lot of changes happened in the last year. You might notice that I'm in a different space, taking this video in a different cabin. And there are some other things that'll be coming up too. Let's go take a walk around the yard and see all the potential for the next year. First thing you noticed was the new cabin. My lease ran out on the cabin I had been living in. This was a house that my father built for my mother and in 2012, and like most things that he did, never didn't quite get finished. He built this wonderful root cellar here out of stonework, and we called it Mom's refrigerator because it's just right near the back door. We keep some potatoes and things in there, and there'll be more about that coming up. There'll be a dedicated video on the various cellars that my father has built over the years. This yard here, there's my house. This yard is mine. But this shop building was given to my son when my dad died, and he's planning on moving it next summer. But he's living in there right now, so our yard is a little bit cluttered. This is his trailer. He has a firewood business. On the back of the truck here is my 1959 Lincoln 350 welder with a Fordson Major diesel engine in it. I am in the process right now. I had to take the gas tank or the fuel tank out to clean it. I haven't got it put back in. This truck it is sitting on is my snowplow Ramit. You probably remember it from other videos. Sadly, my son got stopped by the police when he was using it 2 years ago, and they pulled an inspection detail, which basically means that I need to rebuild it with the help of another truck. So that's it. In 2025, I got a Ranger that looks very similar to Forest Ranger, if you remember it, Forest Ranger from my other videos on the channel. But this Ranger I called the Spruce Moose. It's a 2000 Ranger, 3 years newer than Forest Ranger was. And I still have my little Bronco 2 that I call Buster Brown. And it's kind of the vehicle we use as a spare right now. You notice there's a hole in the grill because a rabbit kicked it. Literally, that's a story of its own, but I definitely wanted to keep a Bronco 2 in my Ranger collection, and so one of the things I did this year was to find another Bronco 2 for parts. My father built this woodshed. It was built on the frame of a burned out cube van truck, and my father was great at reclaiming things. Yesterday, my son and I went and got a load of firewood to fill up the one half of the woodshed, but we need to put some more in it yet. This bulldozer belongs to my boys, and my son might get me to do some work on it sometime here. It needs final drive seals on one side and a steering clutch. And we'll see, we got what we were going to do with it. This greenhouse that Mom used came with the place. I'm going to need to put some new plastic on one end and things, but I'm hoping to maybe get it working next year. This piece of metal here is just the right curve to make snowplow blades, and I used it to make a blade for my tractor at one time. And I'm going to bring that blade home and build some extensions on it with this once I get the welder going. So that's going to be one of my projects this year. My father built this wood splitter, and my son inherited it, and but it's for use by the family. This is a homemade sawmill that my father built. I helped him work on it. The wheels are made of sandwiched layers of aluminum, ringed by rubber. It's made to fit a common size of bandsaw blade. We noticed that the blade is at a slight angle to the carriage, and that means that the blade actually pulls itself into the log as you're cutting. So that's an advantage. We're going to look more at that in the next week or two. My son and I are planning on moving this sawmill to a neighbor's place and doing a contract to cut a bunch of timbers, and I'll probably be doing a bunch of that. Look at that Roadrunner on top of the pole. I used to build those when I was a boy, and that's one of the ones left over. So I started building them in 1985, so there's quite a few of them in the country that I've built. Here we have random items that belong to my son that he inherited from my father. This is an 8N Ford tractor for parts. We have a bunch of the other parts too. And my son inherited an 8N Ford when my father died. This front end loader needs to be adapted to one of our Fordson Majors. We bought it, it was on a Universal tractor. The Universal tractor was garbage, and but we want to put the loader on a Fordson Major. This is a Fordson Major that my boys have for parts, for anybody in the family who needs parts. Over there is a 9N Ford, and one of these times my son and I are going to put a new radiator and new rings and bearings in that tractor. Probably that'll get put on the channel sometime here. My father left us with the parts and told us we had to do that to it. These other vehicles here belong to my boys, and whether or not I work on any projects with them and get any video, we'll have to see. We might. This is a Brutus box that I purchased this fall. You can't see for the snow, but the back corners below the taillights are rusted through, so it needs some new metal welded into it. But it's a solid alternative to a pickup box, and I want to put it on my snowplow truck instead of the wooden deck that is on it. This crawler here is for parts for the other crawler I talked about. My son and I might work on it this summer, we're not sure. This one has the diesel engine, but the engine was stuck when we got it. I got it loosened up, but we aren't sure if it's good or not. This little trailer here, you might remember me using it to haul firewood before on some of my other videos. I loaded a bunch of my stuff on it when I moved here this summer, and I haven't had a chance to unload it yet. It's probably going to come up in more videos. This trailer here is unique. I picked it up at a scrapyard for $50, put some taillights on it, and drove it home. I had some wheels and tires for it. It fits the same wheels and tires as the Ranger, and it comfortably hauls a Bronco 2. I've done it several times now. And it fits the measurements that it was made to fit an 8N Ford tractor. This is my son's 8N Ford tractor here. The one that he has one for parts over there that I showed you. And this tractor here is a 1951 Ferguson TEA 20. I tore this tractor stripped it to the ground when I was 14. When I was 18, my father decided we needed to sell it. So we sold it. In 2012, the old man who had bought it died, and his son offered to sell it back to us. And so it had not been run for a few years. My father and my son got it together and got it running. And then last summer, my son decided that while he owned it, he did not think he needed it anymore, and he was going to sell it back to me. So we'll have a whole couple of videos on doing work on this tractor. It's needing some restoration and rebuilding, and we'll get at it as soon as we can in this next year. This tractor here, the man who had our Ferguson for 20 years had used this tractor before, and he couldn't get it to run right. So when we bought the Ferguson back, his son said, "Did you want this old tractor too? It's not worth anything." So my son took this one. This is a 9N Ford. My son took it all apart, right down to the frame, and rebuilt it when he was 14. And any more videos that include this tractor will be when my son comes to get it and haul it home. This Ranger belongs to him as well. That's my older son who lives a distance away. My son Colin, who lives here in my yard, inherited that John Deere A as well from my father, and he offered that he and I can work on it to get it running and post it and post the videos for you as well. So that's another video to watch for. So we've got a few projects on the run, and I've got some video and some clips of using this little trailer, as well as video fixing another trailer. Yeah, we've got lots of potential for more videos this summer, as well as that I took and made a deal to buy the land here, and I have video of moving into the house, and I have video of several different things that I did over the summer, building the canopy on the back of Spruce Moose, and I also built a chicken cage this summer And I hauled some things here that are buried in this snow pile here, that when the snow melts in the spring, we'll talk about the projects that I brought home. And of course, there'll be more videos of working on Buster Brown, and working on Spruce Moose, and working on moving here when my lease ran out. And so there's a lot of interesting material coming up for the next year. I hope you're prepared to enjoy it.